This is BAIT, Life Outside the Federal Witness Protection Program.
Don't take it from Suze, take it from an ER physician. Hey, welcome to tonight's episode of Keep the Bad Guys Away. In this next segment for healthcare professionals on the issue of human trafficking, I'm going to show you a short clip from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Blue Campaign website on human trafficking, and it is done by a physician, one of the chief medical officers for the Department of Homeland Security, who was an ER physician, ER medical director, and so forth. Now, I'm only going to show you part of the video because I don't want to pirate their whole video. Unfortunately, it's not on YouTube. I wish DHS would put it on YouTube, then it'd be easier to share. But I want you to know that it exists, and I want you to hear this very, very important message from an ER physician with the Department of Homeland Security, and maybe you'll have a different take on the crime of human trafficking. Here it comes.
Thank you for joining us today to talk about how you can help with the DHS Blue campaign against human trafficking. My name is Dr. Alexander Garza, and I am the Assistant Secretary for Health Affairs and Chief Medical Officer for the Department of Homeland Security. I am an emergency physician and have worked in emergency departments across the country. I started my EMS career as an EMT and paramedic and have been an EMS medical director as well.
Hi, I'm Rich Serino. I'm the Deputy Administrator of FEMA. I have 35 years of experience, most recently as the Chief of Boston EMS and the Assistant Director of the Boston Public Health Commission.
My name is Glenn Gaines. I currently serve as the Deputy U.S. Fire Administrator. I've served in the fire service for over 37 years, beginning my career as a volunteer member of the Fairfax County, Virginia Fire and Rescue Department, ending my career as the fire chief.
The Blue Campaign is a DHS department-wide effort to combat human trafficking. Human trafficking is a crime involving the illegal trade of human beings for the purpose of exploitation. Hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children are trafficked each year and are forced into this modern-day form of slavery. Human trafficking isn't just a problem in other countries. Cases have been reported in all 50 states. EMS professionals like you are in a unique position to encounter victims while they are being held by their trafficker, because you answer the call to help people wherever they may be, including homes and businesses. Today, we will talk about how to identify potential human trafficking victims and what you can do to help. Many of the human trafficking victims are lured from their homes with false promises of well-paying jobs, only to be forced or coerced into prostitution, domestic servitude, farm, factory, or other types of forced labor. Traffickers often take away the victim's travel and identity documents and tell victims that if they attempt to escape, the victims or their families will be harmed.
Human trafficking consists of three core elements: the action of trafficking, the means, and the purpose. These core elements can help us understand what constitutes human trafficking. Human trafficking involves an action by the trafficker. This includes the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, and the receipt of a person or group of persons. Human traffickers use the means of coercion that may include the threat or use of force, deception, abduction, and the abuse of power or a position of vulnerability. The purpose of human trafficking is always exploitation, and this may include prostitution or forced labor. Victims can be undocumented workers, migrant, and temporary workers on legitimate visas, or even U.S. citizens. Human trafficking can exist in any workplace. When all three elements of action, means, and purpose are present, human trafficking has occurred, even if the victim has given consent at some point or if the victim has received payment. Also, when a child is a victim of sex trafficking, it is always considered human trafficking, even if there is no threat or use of force. It is important for you to know
That was a short segment from the Department of Homeland Security's Blue campaign. I hope you enjoyed that little part of that video, and I encourage you to watch the full length of the video and take time to learn about these crimes of human trafficking. Like, unfortunately, like I said, they don't have it on YouTube yet, and I can't figure out why, because it'd be so much easier to share. But take advantage of all of the resources that the Blue campaign has, so you, as a healthcare provider, can identify the crime of human trafficking and hopefully not discriminate against any more victims like me. So that's tonight's episode of Keep the Bad Guys Away. Keep your stun gun handy. There's human trafficking perpetrators out there. I'll see you next time.